speak now.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Nisia Denea, owner and founder of Healing Space Solutions, and I'm on my phone and I'm on my iPad, and I also have a special guest today, Jasmine. She's getting her devices
I'm getting
together.
my devices together. I'm moving things. Sorry, 1 second.
So, if you look her up on Instagram, she's at Boss Beja. She just got... Hi, Pickup. Hi, April. April's the person that I interviewed last time. I need to get you the URL, April, of your interview. I'm sorry, I've been behind. But she owns a very awesome socially driven, social mission-based delivery company. If you want to learn more about her, go to piikup.com, Pickup. And so today I have Jasmine here, and Jasmine is the owner and founder of Boss Beja, and we're going to talk about branding today. So Jasmine, can you let everybody know about yourself and your biz and what you do and who you are and all that stuff?
Yep, I'm gonna yay, okay, we're live.
Hey, we're both wearing yellow, how about that?
Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot, in the house.
Oh, shoot, it's here.
I'm like, oh. All right. So, yes, hi. I'm like, which camera do I look at? This
all
one?
of them.
Okay.
It's like paparazzi.
Hi, everybody. But yeah, my name is Jasmine Williams, and I am from Oakland, California, raised in South Berkeley. I have been a Bay Area community member for my entire life, but extremely active, dedicated to social issues and promoting, lifting people of color and all of that. And so I specialize in small business.
Okay, so there's a few questions I have prepared for her today, and the most simple question I have first is, what is branding? When somebody's like, I just graduated from a business accelerator, or I have this business idea, and you're like, you need to brand, like, how do you explain that?
Yes,
to them?
So a lot of people confuse branding with marketing, and they're not the same thing. Branding is one of the most, it's one of the most essential parts of being successful in a business long term. It's basically providing the feeling of your business, and it's basically the perception that the public has of your business or entity or company. So it can be described as a feeling. That's the best way. So like whether it be like certain colors that you use for your business, like, oh, this feels like lively if it's like red or yellow, or if it's more calm, like greens and blues are usually, they build a lot of trust with an audience. So branding basically helps you build trust. It's the perception of the public. Like in my head, I'm talking too fast. But it's super crucial. And consistency is key. But the thing is like if you build a good foundation with branding, then long term you will retain and maintain a relationship with your customer. That's what it is. It helps you get that same customer to come back to you because they like you for whatever that reason is. It might be values that your brand might, have. So like, for example, I have a brand called Hella Snatched, which is a fitness brand, and my values are body positivity, but still like being fit. So like trying to promote health and fitness. So that sometimes might be a contradiction because of some of the products I sell, but like my values and everything I'm doing, I'm promoting eating healthily, I'm promoting, just like living a healthy lifestyle and not being intimidated by the gym. And so that's an example of like me branding my company. Also, I use certain colors so that when people see my logos and things like that, that they are familiar with, what I have going on. So it's basically a great way to build trust and a relationship with your customer base.
Beautiful. And she's an amazing dancer. That's how we met. That's how I know her. That's her brand for me, is that she's a fierce salsa Latin dancer. So, okay, let's move to the next question. You kind of said it already, but how important is it for small business owners and entrepreneurs to have branding, with their business strategy and their business model and those things?
It's super important, but it's interesting because sometimes it's sometimes it's not someone's first thought. It's not like, when you start a business, it's usually like, oh, I have this idea. I want to do this idea. Like, I want to sell this idea. But you don't necessarily have the first thought to be like, I'm going to spend X amount of time, creating a branding strategy like right away. Sometimes it might come naturally and organically, right? So, me personally, I've learned from mistakes a lot. I have had some failures, and with those failures, it helped me rebrand. My business, I'm probably going to mention it a lot only because it's the easiest example, but like Hella Snatched, I started off trying to brand it as Hella Fit. I tried to trademark it, and I failed at that. That didn't really work out that well. But I learned from that mistake and rebranded, and I did that with a little more intention, and I took some more time to actually like make sure that one stuck, right? So I know I'm like,
my client is
I met her today. Hi.
Oh, that's your client. Oh, hi.
No. I met her. She's one of my she's going to be documenting her fitness journey, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what's her name? Let's shout her out.
I know. I just met her today. I can't really remember.
Imperfection. Well, hi, honey.
I wear glasses, so forgive me if I have to like quickly see it. But
Imperfect Mom. Hi, Imperfect Mom.
Hi. Yeah, so I just met her today. So what was I saying? And then I almost forgot. Ask me the question one more time. So
how important is branding to small business owners and entrepreneurs? So like how does it fit into their business model and their business strategy?
It's super crucial because you have to remember there are millions of people in the world, okay? And there are millions of people in the world doing the exact same thing as you. Sometimes that can be intimidating, and sometimes it's like, well, and it depends on what you're trying to do, whether you're doing services or whether you're doing products or anything like that. Oh, she's gonna watch this. Okay, bye. But yeah, so what was I saying? So what was I just saying?
With the I think you were using Hella Fit as an example of.
I was saying, hold on, millions of people. So there are millions of people in the world, and so with that, you need to find your customer. And then once you find your customer, you are branding to your customer, right? And once you have that, connection, then you will be successful, and they will keep coming back, or you will get more customers similar to that specified targeted customer. And so it's super important if you're trying, because there are different types of businesses out there. There's like, social entrepreneurship businesses, which are like nonprofits and things like that, where, you might not be trying to, your values aren't about money, but you still need to get funding or whatever. So you still need to, brand whatever, and communicate your values to the public. So
got it. That's important. And then the next question, the last one, is what are the 3 brand tips that you would have for entrepreneurs? You've kind of been saying it already, but for 2019, if somebody's just getting started, what do you think are some good branding tips they should know for someone that's just starting out?
Right. Well, so I'm just going to talk because I'm not sure if I have 3. Okay. I'm just going to do it. So really, really important, because these are very interesting times, like energy-wise, like around the world, in the country, like industry, economy, like everything is intense right now. So one thing is to pay attention to what's happening around you, and what I mean by that is, an example is Amazon taking over, monopolizing, a lot of industries right now. And so with that, technology is really like, there are some people who struggle with technology, but at this point, I would not recommend like ignoring that. You need to have some sort of online platform, whether it be a website or some way for a customer to communicate to you online. So Instagram is a great resource. YouTube, there are many ways to cross promote, but that's number 1. Like, you can't, because there are brick and mortars, like huge, like Macy's, like Sears, like huge companies that are not doing that well because brick and mortars are kind of being phased out. And so that's 1. Number 2 is like almost more important than that, actually, is doing things legit, okay? Like, especially, I can't speak for everyone, but at least in the Bay Area, like people of color, like entrepreneurs, a lot of the conversations I had are like people trying to avoid paying taxes on certain things, or like it's just too intimidating to even figure out, like, dang, business taxes, that's a whole nother set of taxes. I don't want to have to pay, but really, like, if building a legitimate foundation for your business will help you so much long term through your success, through promotion, through everything. Also, it will help you get funding. You can get business credit. Like, let's say your credit's not that great, and you're working on it. If you have a legitimate business entity that is separate from your personal credit, you will still be able to find the funds to start your business. So that is that's really huge, because I have that conversation a lot where some people are like, oh, well, I just want someone, if they want to buy wholesale things, like doing the steps, like getting a fictitious name, like getting an LLC. So that's number 3 is just like creating a business entity that, and it all depends on like service, or, if you're doing a service or not, but if you're doing a service, it's more of like freelancing. That's like sole proprietorship. So you already are representing yourself. Having insurance is important for that, definitely, because you don't want anybody to come after you. But then also, like, looking into other things like corporations, like LLCs, like things like that, so that you get your own EIN number. You have things separated, and there are benefits to that. You can write off things when you have separate entities. You can write off your gas. You can write off a part of your house. Like if you use one room in your house as an office, you can literally write that off, like saying that is your space. So those are my top 3.
Thank you so much. And do you have anything coming up, or do you want to say where you are online so people can find you?
Yeah, that's probably smart. So I kind of wasn't completely prepared, but like, just forgive me if I have to look through.
You did a great job.
No, but so my name is Jasmine Williams, and let me just tell you a little bit more about me, because I kind of like went through that like pretty fast at the beginning. But basically, I got into business at a young age. I'm a visual learner, so it was really hard for me in school to like keep up. And so I always like taught myself how to do things. Like I taught myself how to type, so I don't type the same way as everybody else. And with that, I taught myself how to do graphic design, because I have creativity, like a lot of art in my background. So I started off as a graphic designer for about 10 years. And through that process, I learned that a lot of people needed consulting help, because customers would come to me and say they were ready to have a website, but then they didn't have their bio written, or they didn't have their mission statement, or they didn't have, a way to take payment online, or whatever. Like, there were many things that I ended up having to go back and forth about. So then I just was like, I like to talk to people. So business coaching is my new thing. And I feel like I've been doing it for years, but this is the first year I'm actually putting myself out there as a business coach. And my handle on Instagram is Boss Beja, so BossBeja. I did want to also mention that I'm going to post my story on YouTube. So if you follow me on Instagram, I will be sure to let you guys know when that's out. And I have other people, like content writers, so one of my friends, Delia Gardner Price, she is an amazing content writer. So if anybody needs any help with that, like editing, copywriting, content, she's amazing. Her rates are great. Black woman from the Bay Area, and definitely reach out. And I feel so bad because I need to get her email. I need to look it up really quick, so please hold.
I'll keep talking.
Okay.
But in case you're just joining us, I'm Misia of Healing Space Solutions, and I have Jasmine Williams here of Boss Beja here today. And she's just giving us some information about what it's like to brand your business. So some people think it is in some ways connected to your marketing, but it's also mostly just talking about how people recognize you with your vibe of your business and things like that. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So you can always email her. Yep, see, she got me. So it's nerdsmithcontent@gmail.com. So she's an awesome content writer, like literally, like, I write things all the time, but I pass things through her, and she is a master at grammar, okay? And especially, like, if you're from the Bay, I don't know how everybody talks. I was explaining, like, I cuss a lot, and I text a lot, which it messes you up, because you need to know how to write, right? So definitely reach out to her for content, and if you miss that, you could always DM me, and I can forward her information also. But yeah.
All right, someone else just joined us. Hi.
Oh, hi,
Okay,
Shelly.
so maybe I'll interview her next next time if she's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she would love that.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. You can view this material on. I'm gonna put it up on my YouTube and SoundCloud. I haven't done that in a while. I need to start doing that with some of my most recent interviews. But visit me at HealingSpaceSolutions.com, Healing Space Biz on Instagram, Healing Space Solutions on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, take care. Namaste. Ciao. Bye. That was a lot of fun.